We focus so much on the 5 boroughs. It's rare that we leave the 5 boroughs for our political coverage, but Long Island has really been looming over city politics because there are so many districts where Republicans and Democrats are competitive. Eyes are back on Nassau and Suffolk counties again this year ahead of the November election because the political winds there could determine control of the U.S. House. Spectrum News Washington reporter Kevin Fry spent some time on Long Island talking to voters and to local party leaders about what's at stake.
Stretching nearly 120 miles, Long Island packs in gated homes and estates alongside pockets of poverty, beaches, bays, and yes, backups.
Instead of a suburb, it's almost like a mini city.
These diverse communities are again in the spotlight. The political winds here potentially determining control of the U.S. House. 4 years ago, Long Island Democrats fought Republicans to a draw, winning the 2 congressional districts based in Nassau County and losing the 2 seats in Suffolk. 2 years later, when Democrats held on in other suburbs nationally, Republicans here painted all 4 districts red.
It shocked me and upset me. I don't think the Democrats were prepared for that at all.
Republicans in part credit Lee Zeldin, at the time a congressman here, with helping to fuel GOP turnout in his 2022 run for governor. One analyst says Democrats also faced a perfect storm, fed by screaming headlines about crime in New York City and progressive Democrats in Albany passing controversial criminal justice laws.
Because of the spike in crime during the pandemic, because of the economic problems that people were experiencing, New Yorkers were primed to be angry at somebody. And when the Democrats passed bail reform and the Republicans figured out a way to message that as powerfully as they did, the problems for Democrats just multiplied.
State Democratic Chair Jay Jacobs, who also leads Nassau County Democrats, says his party's failures were not due to a lack of trying.
You can knock on doors and talk to voters, but if they think that you're selling them manure, they're just not buying it.
Crisscrossing the island earlier this month, 2022 themes appear to still resonate among conservative voters. And now there's another attention-grabbing story, the surge of migrants into New York.
I'm concerned that law and order is not being followed. I'm concerned that we have people roaming our cities that we have no idea who they are.
Historically, what happens on Long Island is an early indicator of coming political trends in suburbs nationally. Whether what's happened here in the last few years is an aberration or indeed a preview of coming attractions remains an open question. Republicans here also made gains in local races in 2021 and 2023, including flipping the Suffolk County executive and DA offices. But Democrats broke the skid in February when Tom Suozzi snagged the special election for Congress in Nassau County, replacing embattled ousted Republican George Santos. Suozzi played offense instead of defense on immigration, attacking Republicans over inaction on Capitol Hill, a blueprint that Democrats plan to use elsewhere. Jacobs says he's a bit more optimistic about this fall, arguing the marquee presidential race means national issues like abortion rights may resonate locally in a way they did not 2 years ago.
This is a very different political environment, and the issues are very different. And I think that also the turnout is going to be different.
Or how one voter put it to us.
I'm not a great fan of Biden, but I think Trump is very dangerous for the country and for the world.
But GOP leaders are acting confident, too, pointing to their coordinated political operations in Suffolk and Nassau counties and their work to develop the Republican brand locally.
People are responding to the campaign operations, to the candidates, to this committee's hard work on giving Republicans a chance. They see what's going on in Albany and D.C. under one-party rule, and they are rejecting that, and we're giving them the tools and the candidates to reject those policies.
Ultimately, it may be the top of the ticket that seals the fate of candidates further down the ballot.
If Joe Biden wins by 5 or 6 points in New York, like Governor Hochul did in 2022, it will be another bloodbath in the suburban swing districts. If Biden can stretch it back to 10, 12 points, then a number of these seats could flip back to the Democratic Party.
Meaning New York could be the whole ball game when it comes to control of the House. On Long Island, Kevin Fry, New York 1.